Hello everyone, welcome back to Diamond King 139, and today we are going to go over on how to use a fountain pen. Yes, we are going to go over that today. Hey, for those of you that know me, know I've been using a fountain pen and write with here recent more than writing with. Yeah, see if I can get some of the ink out so I can do a quick example of what I would do while I'm trying to explain what a fountain pen is. So it's basically built off three parts. You got the nib, you got the grip, and you got the back piece, which will keep your cartridges or converters in. And if you don't know what those are, you can look at them up, or I'll show you what a converter would look like. Actually, I have it loaded, and this is a Wordsworth black and black pen. So that's a little converter, not very big, typically. Uh, will it fit in your hand comfortably? More so, yes. As and I bet you there are people out there doing this better than I am right now, but I know that if if you are into this stuff, then it'll be a lot simpler for you to even try it now than later. Like I see pictures of all this. You see the calligraphy on these bottles, and it's very interesting, honestly. Cool writing, like you think it would be sketched out or something like that, but it won't. Won't. So I showed you how it's built. All I need to do with this nib is stick it inside my ink, which you can get any type of fountain pen ink, but not just any type of ink. If that makes sense. Like I got several of the same inks right from my room. I preferably I would use that one. Uh, I just want to say much else on the different inks. I did order some new inks, but yeah, that's what I can tell you there. Here is what the capsules would look like if I could get them out of this box. Yes, this is the brand I got. Some of you may say, well, I had that hat at one point in time, but I got rid of it. It's okay. Hey, it's something that you can do on your own time. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this real quick. Let it soak in right there while I get this open to even show you what the converters look like. So the colored piece is at the top, the where you put it in, and it's at the bottom. So you got these cartridges. This is one out of many examples. Also, honestly, these don't look like they'll last me a long time, but they probably will. I will tell you that. So I got blue and black. These are the two colors you might start off with if you get your first one. I might leave a link down below to this one on Pacifically. Not any other ones until I get some more. But I got off of Amazon, so you all can check there. here for these saints if you really want. Now, let's come back. Oh gosh. I'll deal with those later. Let's come back to here. See if the ink is flowing. No. Okay. If your ink is not flowing, take some water or something, dip it, or push what's in there down. And looks like I only needed to push down one piece. Nope. Okay. Okay. That is good. Sometimes you gotta push the converter piece down by a lot. I'm not gonna go over how to fill these yet. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I'm gonna make some scribbles. Will it let me do scribbles at least? Oh, yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna do some scribbles, get it warmed up. Gosh. And if you're wondering how good quality of ink I got, oh, yeah, there's the sweep spot. Okay. Yeah, there's something called a sweep spot, but there's something that's called skipping. That's what's it's doing currently. Not really giving an exact amount of ink to me. So, but it does scratch, which you can find these videos on YouTube how to get rid of if you don't want to deal with it. And I like to write with it a few different ways. Let's see here. Make sure it's consistently on the paper as well, or else you're just not gonna get a good ink flow, you know? So I'm just gonna go up, down, a little exercise that I learned from some of Jazz's things. And he's actually the one I actually went off of. So let's write in Hebrew real quick. Which I will state this about myself. I like writing in different languages. As with this. So if that's what your interest is, then go ahead. Just write with it. Like, I don't care which language you are in. Like, you can write these in your own language. Like, that's the interesting part. Like, German, he apparently uses these very often. And I'll show you what I'm doing here. Which is what you don't typically like want to do with it, but the ink is so fine, it runs smooth. Like, I'm going to create an S pattern real quick to show you the smoothness of it. And that's only one go. Like do some of your own experimentations. So, if you're wanting to practice cursive, then go to an L. And just keep going L, L, L. So just basically lines, circled lines. And if you want to know how to fill it, that's these capsules. You just push them in. Push them into the nib. Well, not into the nib, but into where you load it. Which I already showed you where you would load it. So, but converters are different. And so I'm going to show you what type of ink I got. Okay, this is the type of ink I use. It's a Chinese ink. It runs really black, and you don't have to worry about it. Nope. And if you decide I don't want a fountain pen because the ink is probably going to be expensive, like it's not always going to be expensive. It can last you up to 5 years. I'm not kidding. Like, I haven't even ran out my first bottle, which is messier than this one. This one's just one of my newer ones that I got months back. Well, almost a month back. So, I kinda can't blame you for thinking that. But as long as you have a bottle to keep them in like this, you should be good. This came with my, what you call it? My quill pen. So if you already do have ink and have a quill pen, you should be good. Because you would know what type of ink you're using there. It's basically almost the same as fountain pen ink, I think. I can't be 100% sure there. But if you do notice the difference between fountain pens and fountain pen ink and normal calligraphy pens, then it's just, yeah. Okay, so on to the next exercise. So you're gonna almost make an L shape, but you're gonna continue in almost an infinite way. They don't have to all be perfect, but that's a little what I done by there. And since I'm not a writer, my handwriting might be a little bit atrocious, and I am left-handed. Tips for left-handed people. Well, if you who don't want to get smudge all over your hand, write with your hand. Well, when I say write with your hand, it means write with your arm, which is basically taking this, don't move your wrist, go up, down, down, you. It might be weird seeing it from your perspective, but I promise you it will make sense once you start writing with it. Because with fountain pens, you're not supposed to even and move your wrists. That's how they're made. You don't have to. Either way. Like, these are 200 years old. Well, then I did a little searching. Those they were made like in the 1800s. Like, it's an old way. One of the oldest American things to do is the American dream. Okay. You can leave this optional, but you can practice the eyes. Eyes, just making like little mountains if you don't know what an eye is. I'm only gonna do one row because I've been doing like 2 rows. Plus, if you want, you can do like 2 to 3 rows. Of certain these drills. So I'm finished with my 1 row, which I'll show you what my horrible lines look like. Yeah. So now you're gonna do something that's called a downstroke, which is going down with your fountain pen. And so all you're doing is really doop 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 doop. And that's called a downstroke. And if you do an upstroke, you'll notice a way bigger difference. So let's just do that for 2 more rows. And Toasty doesn't have one of these, honestly. Which is highly encouraged to get one. But it's just not for everyone. Unlike people with wrist joint pain, like you can easily write with these. He's without much using your wrists. And you don't have to worry about pushing down hard. But if you do push down hard, it might bend the nib, which you do not want if you want smooth flow. Now let's do something called an upstroke, since I'm now done with this, which you're basically doing the reverse. Doop, 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 doop. And do that for 2 rows, and if you get done before me, you can do extra, which is an option for all of them. Do this a lot, because this will definitely practice your strokes. And if you do bend them off in a strange direction, then that's on you. I'm gonna be honest about this. I'm not sure where Wordsworth was named from. I just know there are a company that does exist in the US. And yeah. I preferably would not get another one of these if my other ones that are arriving in not too long from now. So I'll probably have them already up by the time I'm done with this video. Okay. Now, let's do something called a slash, which you're really gonna go slash, 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 just across the paper. And if it skips any, that's okay. Usually you will have to wait. So I'm gonna slash these. And I'll show you what you can do when you're done with it to prevent dry ink. Ink is just, I won't promise it's 100% efficient. And with it, it's just, yeah, it's dry ink. But if you're just watching through this entire video, not doing any of it, I will not recommend that. Because you're not really learning much from it. And at that point, but if you're thinking about it and wanting to try some of these things, I'm doing the less of the visual stuff. I'm doing this along with you. So you all get the visual idea what to do and what to expect. Okay. Now we're done with that. Now you could just start writing A for one row. A, 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 A. And I don't care how fast you do it. And if you have fast drying ink, because you're left-handed, I don't care. I just want to know what type of fountain pen you use, what type of ink you usually use. Like, this Chinese ink is like a everyday use for me. Every time I write with this, this is like the only ink I use. I do got some other inks ordered, so if you do have any ideas what to do, yeah, let me know. Okay, now we're gonna do captable. Okay, oh, bees. So we're gonna go that that new new. I think it starts from down here, probably. Do do new. Actually, let's do an S. If you already draw no cursive, you can do B, but I'm not a cursive person, which is really one of the least known in English nowadays. Has certain schools taken them out, certain schools brought them back after a while because you need to know how to write in cursive. It's just not a required skill anymore. Or in schools, which is completely sad. But I can at least write my real name. And this will be the only time I'll show you who my real name. Because it is such a popular name, I don't care as much. Yeah, and if I wanted to add a certain line, yeah, go ahead. And and when you're done with it and you have ink all over yourself, just put the cap on and place it down. You can either wash it off or another option. You can take this, unless if it's dry, then you won't be able to take one of these. I have it up here because I tend to be a bit messy with it. Yeah. But after you practice all this and get good after a while, you should be fine. I'll even show a little what I did. And it's a few pages back. Okay. So this is a little what I did yesterday. Okay? I just did the swirls, 2 lines, 2 downstrokes, 2 upstrokes, a few of those, 2 lines with the L's, 2 lines of the A's, and I attempted the 2 lines of B's. That shows you how bad it is. But I did end up dipping in it in ink, well, in some water. So just a warning: if you do end up dipping it in water, it will be fading. So that's a little heads up there. And this is what I did like a few months ago, I think. If I can get the lighting correct. And there should be at least one more piece of paper that shows me doing some stuff. And this was done a few months ago. This was when I was a bit more used to it. Which I am a bit more used to it because I used to write with quill pen. But the only problem was I could not travel with it. So I was like, okay, I wonder if there could find a pen that holds these things. And sets like this, but you could travel around with it. So that's when I ran around Jazza's stuff, and he made a video on it for like a 130-year-old pen. And and he tested it to make sure if it sticks with art quality. It does, honestly. Like, he even at the end took it and ended up drawing a bunch of people from like the 1800s looking at a piece of phone from the future. So it was just hilarious. Okay. I'm going to show you this. As you can tell a little, I outlined it with fountain pen. And you see how well it shows up. Just as well as a Sharpie. And if you compare it to a Sharpie, you can tell if it was alcohol or not, because it usually will leak through, but it didn't. But this one, yeah. I just got done with this one last night. I was watching, a very long video, so I was like, gosh, I'm a bit bored, so I may as well write the names of these pens down. So I did. So I got a few of them to look up. Leave that all over there. And I will make sure to put a link down to this fountain pen. And it comes in this box with oh gosh. Did I seriously? Oh, okay. I at least have a few of them. With 3 black, 3 blue of these. So 6 cartridges max. Max at least. So this, you could get 24 packs of cartridges, but cartridges are more expensive after a while. So I want to get them. Very much. So, inside, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because I really want to know your thoughts on all this fountain pen and calligraphy. And if you are saying, hey, I'm not pronouncing it right, I probably will agree with you. And we will see you all next video. Diamond signing out. Oh. It would help if I had my mouse ready. Diamond signing